That's also what's, I think, and unfortunately, our society is pushing so hard that you are what you do, that like your
Absolutely.
value is so wrapped up in the job that I have, the truck I drive, the clothes I wear,
Mhm.
the lady I'm with, all this stuff, right? And so it creates these just false lifestyles, right? And then people through Instagram or Facebook, they can post the pictures of all this great stuff and they can create this life that they want people to think that's my life. That's who I am. This is, and so many of these people are just hurting inside because they're not having real conversations talking about their real problems. And, and I got together with a couple of friends from high school. I graduated in 2000 and it's crazy. I got together with two friends I hadn't seen in years and years and years. And I sat down, we had this great conversation, but I started telling them about my mental health process. Um, and how I got depressed and it was huge anxiety and
Mhm.
I ended up going on medication and I ended up going through counseling, all this kind of stuff. And it was like they had never had a conversation with another man like that, like I just put it all out there. And all of a sudden by the end of the conversation, other guy, one of my best friends from high school starts telling me about some of his stuff.
Absolutely.
And then the other guy starts telling me about his stuff, and they had never even talked about it with each other. And all of a
100%.
sudden, here's three guys that, we were almost in tears being like, we just had this most beautiful conversation and we were able to just like support each other. But like you said earlier, like it's so, so rare. Like people like when I think of the friends that I have here and other guys in this room, like it is so rare to have other men to be able to have that conversation with, to be able to like talk about your struggles. And when you do have that, you realize you are so blessed, so fortunate to
Absolutely.
have those friends. And like, yeah, it's crazy to me.
One of the most powerful things I think, like I'm holding back tears now, but like one of the most powerful text messages I've ever had was with a good friend Dave, and he asked the question like, "How you doing?"
Mm.
And then it's built into us to be like, "I'm
Yeah,
good. How are
yeah,
you?" And then you get to see the three dots, and you get the no. How are you really doing? And just being able to be like, dude, I'm not okay. I've got this. 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 And I know that he's got a bunch of stuff too. And he knows that I'm going to be okay. And he's like, but you also have me. You also have Robin. You also have, whatever. And even being in a sense of being like, well, I don't think Robin can handle, what I'm going through. And Robin's my wife. Um, and then, you know, asking those simple questions. But have you asked her? Because if not, like these are the life partners that we have. And if you suppress these things, you're almost robbing them of the opportunity to give what they vowed to give to you
mm,
when you got married or when you agreed to
mhm,
be life partners. And for whatever reason, you're just like, I don't think they can handle it. Now they can't. But when you break down, you're like, okay, you know what? Hey, like these are the things that I'm going through. I'm not trying to take away from anything from motherhood or what you're going through. These are the things. Some of the best conversations come from having that vulnerability and being able to like self audit what
yeah.
makes you tick and like what kind of brings you out of things. Living in a toxic and being like so self-righteous that and we talked about this. First of all, Luke made me hike some mountain this morning, which I'm super grateful he did. But we're walking down this mountain and he was saying like, you know, these toxic people that are so self-righteous and being like, I hate stupid people or I hate the blah, 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 blah. Like what's the common denominator, right? Like it's you. It's your outlook. And I think so many of us before speaking for myself, we were raised in that environment
Mhm.
of like those are the conversations that you overheard and like who knows what our parents had to go through, but and like they had their own kind of
Yeah.
coping mechanisms, having parents that were in the war or affected by it. But again, like growing up, you're just kind of like the only way that you can truly be happy is if you have like a really, really good, honest conversation with yourself and you figure out like the systems that make you you and you voice that. And then when you're not kind of in line there, you have somebody that you can reach out to and say, I need some help. I need to get back on track.